foundation is the most important piece of your makeup routine, in my opinion. You can have the best smoked out eye, you can have the perfect arched brow, you can have the hottest lips, but if your foundation isn't in check, then it's just gonna throw off your whole makeup look. The secret to having a great makeup appearance and look is your foundation. Some things that you're going to need for this video: you're going to need your moisturizer, you're going to need a BB cream or a primer, you're going to need your foundation, a concealer or a corrector, maybe a darker powder to do some contouring, a lighter one to do some highlighting, a blush, and a few brushes. But I'll go into more detail in just a minute, so I hope you enjoy. Thanks. So step number one is what you want to do is you want to moisturize your skin. Use your fingers. Beautiful. And the next thing you want to do is you want to use a primer. So moisturize, prime, then foundation. So you can use any typical primer that you want. A lot of people don't use primers, but I highly suggest it because it helps to fill in any fine lines, fills in your pores, helps you get that flawless look. A primer that I've been using is just a Revlon primer. It's kind of pink tinged, it's color correcting. So if you have different, from hormones and whatnot, if you have different patches of colors on your skin, that will help to even out those. But one thing that is hot right now are BB creams. This is just a cheap drugstore one by Maybelline that I picked up. I don't know how I feel about BB creams yet, but basically what they are is they're a primer. They're a moisturizer, they enhance your skin, they brighten your skin, they fill in the fine lines and wrinkles, they have SPF in them, they hydrate your skin, they do a lot of stuff, I guess. So I'm going to use that today. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger and I'm going to rub it into my skin. Primed. Fabulous. Now the next thing you want, step number 3, is going to be your foundation. One of the best foundations that I love right now that is drugstore, that works fabulous, is L'Oreal. This is the L'Oreal Lumi. I have it in 2 colors right now because I think I'm kind of in between the 2. Love it. I think it's fabulous. They have the L'Oreal True Match is fabulous. Just pick it up. Now how to apply it. If you have really dry skin and you use a brush to apply your foundation, it might not be the best bet for you because all you're doing when you apply it and you're moving it around your face is giving yourself a little exfoliation. So basically, as you're moving it around the product, all that dry flaky skin is starting to come off, and then you're putting the foundation over it. It's going to start to cake and form around all that little dry skin, and that's when you're just going to have the cakey face nasty mess. So if you have dry skin, I would suggest using a cream foundation or a liquid foundation and using a sponge. You know these guys, but you need this. This is a beauty blender. This is actually a beauty blender knockoff. You need to invest in one of these. Beauty blenders are probably, I think they're around 20 bucks. You can get them Sephora, Ulta, online. Comes with a little cleanser as well. Or you can get these little knockoffs, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, for like $5.99, and I feel like they work exactly the same as a beauty blender. So save your money and just go get one of these guys. This is what they look like when they're dry, because you need to use them when they're wet. So you can see the size difference when they're wet. So you just get them all wet, squeeze out the excess, and these are fabulous. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the foundation, I use 2 colors right now. I'm using W12 and W3. I just put a little bit on my hand and I'm just going to blot it with the end of the beauty blender, and I'm just going to pounce it on my face. Like so. And with the beauty blender, you don't want to rub it all over. All you do is pounce it off. You're stippling it on your face. Make sure you get up by your ear line and under your neck. Bring it down the sides of your Adam's apple, because you definitely want to make sure you bring it down your neck so your face matches your body, because you don't want to be that girl whose face doesn't match her body. We all know who she is. She better not be you. And another thing, please have your foundation match your skin color. Pumpkins. You know, you all have seen the pumpkin faces with the orange skin. Don't do it. This will help you to look natural. Also with brushes, if you use brushes, you can get brush strokes on your face when you use it. Even if you use a foundation brush, when you apply it, it leaves like little swirls of brush marks. If you use this guy, wet it. I also suggest these must be old. Man, instead of pulling, maybe tear. Rip off the tip, and then you get the little ridges on the inside. And if you want to apply foundation that way, to stipple it on this way, it's much better, especially if you're someone who has acne scarring or the little deep craters in your face. When you do this, those little grooves and bumps will ensure that you get into everything on your face to help it look flawless. Next step is you want to conceal. What I'm using right now is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, and mine is in Fair. I don't know if you've heard of the upside down triangle, but that's what you need to do with your concealer. Basically, you're going to go under your eye, straight down your nose, and bring it up. You want to make a triangle, because if you just conceal like this and you leave it and you're trying to get rid of dark circles under your eyes, you're just going to create a reverse. You're basically just going to have it be light now. You need to bring the concealer all the way down and blend it out, which you can use the pointy edge of your beauty blender, or you can use your fingers. Don't wipe, always pounce. As women, we have darker spots, red spots, because of hormones. Those places are around the nose, around the mouth. I always take it down the center of my nose and my chin. After you do these steps, you might look a little dead, because what you're doing is just evening out your tone. You're not adding color. That's what bronzer and blush are for. You're just making everything one even palette, like an artist. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Alrighty. Now, a highlighter or a corrector, not a concealer, like a corrector. I love those. You want like a salmon-y color, especially if you're someone with dark circles under your eyes. You don't really want to use a yellow. You want something that's salmon colored. I like using this on top of my concealer, and I basically just pop it underneath. It's probably hard to pick up on the camera, but it's more of a peachy color. This is Dream Lumi by Maybelline. It's it's in Radiant, and I just pounce it once again underneath. And guess what, my dears? It doesn't matter how much stuff you put underneath your eyes. It's not going to look cakey if you blend it correctly and you set it correctly. Oh, Kim, what does setting mean? Well, my little loves, setting just means putting powder over it. I can hear my 2-year-old outside the door. I want to see Mommy, Dad. Mommy is getting fabulous. Ma? Okay, so it brightens it up a little bit. Probably should have just done one side so you could see the difference on the other. Okay, so powder. So you want to set all this mess. There's so many different powders you can choose from. One that's going to work for every skin color is just going to be a translucent powder. You can get loose powder, you can get pressed powder. One that is cheap, that works, and trust, I've tested nearly all of them out. Rimmel Stay Matte, and this is in 001, which is transparent. What do you apply it with? You can use a big fluffy powder brush, or you can use like a little Bella puff. If you're someone that just wants a fast little coverage, you can use a powder brush. If you want more precise, more flawless, use a puff. Here's my problem with these guys. Once you swirl it in and you start putting it on your face, if you're someone who has like rosacea or red spots or acne and you're trying to cover up all those lovely beauty marks, don't use a brush, because all you're doing is you're moving around your foundation that you just so intricately applied. No. Use your puff. Get it in your product. Don't do this. You're just moving it around. Press and roll. Push it onto your face. You don't necessarily need to put it all over. Just put it in the spots. Maybe you're the oiliest. Definitely make sure you put it over where you put your primer, or where you put your concealer and your corrector. And make sure you put it over your eyelids as well, because that helps too when you eventually apply your eyeshadow. If you put a corrector and concealer on your eyelids as well, and then you use powder over it, you don't need to use an eye primer, because that works just as an eye primer. So we're setting it in, because you don't want halfway through the day to look at your face and be like, oh, where's my makeup? Oh, it's on the floor because it melted off my face because I didn't set it. Fabulous. Okay.